Hi folks, this is all the fruit. I'm in a beautiful cactus garden in the town of La Aldea on the island of Gran Canaria. And this cactus here, if I'm not mistaken, is Opuntia tunicata. I say if I'm not mistaken because there are thousands of cactus species and the horrible confusion with cacti, and not just with the wild ones, but especially with the cultivated ones. I mean, you can see why. Basically, any piece of cactus which falls to the ground can become a new plant. So if you want a new cactus plant, you just take one of those pots, plant it somewhere else, and so a lot of quite strange and unusual looking cactus individuals just gave rise to some new planted and traded and marketed cacti with some new names which were not always really perfectly well researched, let's say. So I think this is Opuntia tunicata. We had something in Arizona which looked similar to this, and which we called Opuntia tunicata. Tunicata means sheeted, and if you look at it, we will see that each spine has a sheet. Now I remove the sheet, and here you see the reddish-brownish spine inside. However, the Opuntia tunicata in Arizona, it had thicker and more, wider, broader and more pale sheets. So if you want to correct me on the species of this Opuntia, just write what else it could be. For now I'm gonna call it Opuntia tunicata. If we look at the fruit, well, we can see that fruit is just a little bit of an arbitrary name, because it's not just the fruit. The fruit is surrounded by tissue, by stem tissue, and so the fruit can give rise to more fruit. And here I already cut one open, and it's barren, not a single seed inside. That's not unusual for the species. So what good are fruit which are barren? Well, basically here on the plants they play the role of stems. They are just like the normal stems of the cactus, and when they drop to the ground, as you can see here, they develop roots and can basically develop a new plant without even having seeds. Look at that. This fruit fell to the ground and developed roots. This fruit fell to the ground and developed roots. This fruit fell to the ground and developed into a whole new plant. Same for this one. Every fruit which is on the ground has developed roots. Well, now let's see how edible those fruit are. Normally, what you eat in cactus fruit is the stuff surrounding the seeds. Sometimes you also eat the rind, but usually it's of inferior quality compared to the matter surrounding the seeds. But what do you do if you have a fruit without seeds, which basically only consists of rind? Well, I mean, here at least the rind is thick and juicy. Okay. Well, let's try this rind. Whoops. Well, what I can already feel between my fingers is that the flesh of this fruit is gritty. See those little clusters of cells I have here on my fingers? They give the flesh a gritty texture like a pear or a guava. Okay, here is a piece of the fruit. Focus. And of course there are a couple glockets. Well, when you eat cactus fruit, always be careful not to get the glockets into your mouth. I think you can see those gritty whitish groups of cells everywhere in the fruit. I've never had this in a cactus fruit before. I had it in pears and guavas and some other fruit. Now let's It's more or less like a cucumber with the gritty texture, but there is also some sort of hotness, spiciness to it, and I cannot decide if this hotness, spiciness is a taste or if those are some small needles of oxalic acid or something else. I don't know, folks. Well, I mean, yeah, I would call it edible, but not really enjoyable. No. I think those things are maybe some oxalic acid crystals or something similar. It is edible, however, why should you eat it? I don't see a good reason to eat it regularly. Maybe, okay, you can try it, but be very careful when handling cacti. They are spiny and dangerous. What about the survival situation? Well, I don't know. It's quite a lot of work to process one of those fruit. And also cacti, this is a common misconception, cacti will not give you water, cacti will give you food. And if you eat cacti, you actually need to drink more than if you don't eat cacti. So in a survival situation, the danger of getting hurt while processing this and the additional need of water, yeah, I guess if you have a lot of water but no food, you could eat it. However, there are usually better cactus fruit around. And this is around. Yeah. I also did not find any edible uses for this fruit. I'm sure some Native Americans or Mexicans eat it in some way, but I wouldn't say it's one of the really valuable species for food. It's more commonly used as an ornamental. Well, write me if you know of some culinary uses of the fruit or of the plant. I'm always eager to learn. Okay, folks, this was Opuntia tunicata. Oh, by the way, the cactus originates from northern Mexico and the southern US, but seems to be invasive in South and Central America. So, yeah, be careful where you plant this stuff as an ornamental. Okay, folks, this was Opuntia tunicata, an invasive cactus from Mexico and the southern US. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.